Hello students, today I will introduce you to the golden rule of accountancy. Before telling you that, let me tell you there are three types of accounts: personal account, real account, and nominal account. Personal account is the name of all persons, natural persons like Ram, Shyam, artificial persons means persons created by law like the firms and the company's name, Reliance Limited, Messrs. Shaw, ICICI Bank, Wipro Limited, and so on. In the third category, we have representative personal accounts. By its very nature, they represent amounts payable to or receivable from some person. So they fall under the personal account category. Examples are outstanding salary, prepaid insurance, commission receivable, and rent received in advance. Examples are outstanding salary, prepaid insurance, commission receivable, and rent received in advance. For example, outstanding salary. This represents salary payable to the employee, employees in person. So, outstanding salary falls under the category of representative personal account. Or we can also remember this outstanding salary is a liability. Prepaid insurance is an asset. If we pay any amount to anybody in advance, that is an asset to us. Commission receivable, this is also an asset because this is income receivable from somebody. This is an asset, a property. Rent paid in advance, rent received in advance. Rent received in advance is a liability. If you receive anything from someone in advance, that forms a liability. Then comes the real account. This is the second type of account. Real account, under real account we have all the tangible things like furniture, stock, cash, machinery, and so on. Under the head nominal account we have all intangible things which we cannot see or touch like expenses and losses and incomes and gains. Expenses and losses like purchase, wages, salary. Under income and gains we can have sales, commission, rent received, and all that. So these are the three types of accounts. Any transaction in our real life will entail any of these or at least two of these or all of these accounts. Before telling you the golden rule, let me introduce you with two important accounting concepts. There are many accounting concepts and conventions, but today my discussion will be restricted to these two basic accounting concepts. One is the entity concept and another is the dual aspect concept. Entity concept is, under entity concept it is assumed that the entity and the business owner are two separate individuals in the eyes of the accountant. That is, the accountant will record only those transactions which affect the business. He will record all the transactions from the viewpoint of business. There is a separation of owner's assets and liabilities with the business assets and liabilities. Under the dual aspect concept, every transaction has got two aspects. One is debit and the other is credit for sure. Or we can think the other way also. Every transaction in accounts will always match the accounting equation. Accounting equation is asset is equal to liability plus capital. Any transaction will always fit in such a way that this equation always gets balanced. So we need to remember this dual aspect. Well, now let me come to the golden rule. As I said, any transaction will entail any of these three accounts. Either that two aspects may be either personal or real or nominal or personal real nominal, personal nominal, whatever. There are so many combinations. The two aspects may be any one of these. Whatever be the aspect, we will catch hold of each of them one by one Like if it is a personal account, then that person may be a receiver or a giver. If that person is a receiver, we debit it. If it's a giver, we credit that account. Similarly, for real account, if it's an asset, as I said, it's a tangible thing. If it comes in, we debit. If it goes out, we credit. Similarly, for nominal account, it may be an expense, or an income. If it's an expense, we debit. If it is an gain or income, we credit. So that is how we go about thinking which account to debit and which account to credit. Coming to the modern rule, which deals with the valuation accounts like assets, liabilities and capital, we follow this rule. Actually, we might have to use this when we come across assets and liabilities in the transaction. Like asset, it's always a debit, but if it increases further, we debit it, and if asset decreases, we credit it. Similarly for liabilities, a liability is always a credit. So if it increases, we credit, and if liabilities decreases, we need to debit the liability account. Same is the case for capital. If it increases, capital is always a credit. It's also a liability towards the owner, so capital is a credit. If it increases, we credit, and if it decreases, we debit it. So we have discussed the golden rule, including the modern rule as well. This rule will help us to frame the journal entries. Here I'll be telling you the how to think about how to go about debiting or crediting a particular transaction. Which account to debit and which account to credit, we will be discussing in detail how we go about thinking. Look, you started business with cash rupees 50,000. So which two accounts are involved? One is cash and the other is capital. Cash is a real account. Okay. Capital is personal account. Now see, cash, real account. So we'll apply the real account rule. It may come in or it may go out. Here cash is coming in. So we will write over here comes in. And against comes in, what is the rule to be applied? For comes in, it's a debit. Capital is a person. It may be a receiver or a giver. Here capital is, the person is a giver of capital, giver. So we credit it. We can look at the golden rule once again. See, cash was a real account. It comes in, so we debit cash. Capital is a personal account. Okay, this one, personal account. It was a personal account was a giver, so we credited capital. So we strictly apply the rules. It's very easy to apply the rule. Next is bought goods for cash. Which two accounts are involved? One is cash and the other is goods. But think from the viewpoint of purchase, because we don't write goods in the journal entry these days. Purchase. Cash is a real account. Cash, we are purchasing goods, so cash goes out. So we write over here goes out. Once it goes out, we need to credit. Purchase. Purchase is a nominal account. Purchase is an expense. So under nominal account, if an item is an expense, we can look at the journal entry. If an item is an expense, and if it's a nominal account and it's an expense, we need to debit that. So we debited purchases. Nominal account, expense, so we debit. So the final journal entry is purchase account debit to cash account. One very interesting thing I would like to tell you. Now see, how do you remember the golden rule? We can see over here, all the G's are in a single column. See, all the G's. Giver, G for giver, G for giver, G for goes out, G for gains. All the G's are credited. So if it's a giver or a goes out or a gains like thing, we need to credit that account. Okay, let's come to the third entry. Bought goods on credit from Ronnie, rupees 15,000. Two accounts involved is Ronnie and purchase. We did not write cash because no cash is involved. In a credit transaction, we need to write the name of the person from whom we are buying or selling. We bought goods from Ronnie on credit, so Ronnie is a personal account. Here, Ronnie is giver or receiver. Ronnie is the giver of goods. So we credit. Purchase is a nominal account. Already discussed, this is an expense, so we debit. Let us look at the fourth entry. Sold goods for cash rupees 40,000. Now Two accounts involved here is cash and the other is sales. Cash is a real account. Here cash comes in, so it's a debit. Sales is a nominal account. This is an income. It may be an expense or an income. Here sales is an income, so we credit. So the journal entry would be cash account debit to sales account. This is how we write in the journal entry format. I'll show you the format in the end. Sold goods on credit to Ram. Two accounts involved is, one is Ram. As it is on credit transaction, we need to write the name, and the other is sales. Ram is a personal account. Here Ram is the receiver, so we debit. Sales is a nominal account. Here sales is the income, so we credit. Paid salary rupees 12,000. Two accounts involved is, one is salary and the other is, you have paid, so cash is involved. Salary is a nominal account. Salary is an expense of business. Under nominal account, expenses are debited, so we debit. Cash is a real account. It may come in or go out. Here cash goes out, so we credit. Then we have received commission for 8,000. Two accounts involved is, one is cash and the other is commission. Now see, cash is what account? Real account. Cash comes in or goes out. Here cash comes in because we are receiving now, so cash is debited. Commission is a nominal account. Here commission is an income. So under nominal account, incomes are credited, so we credit commission. So cash debit and commission credit. We identified it. Then we have wages outstanding. Two accounts involved is wages and outstanding wages. Wages is a nominal account. This is an expense. Under nominal account, expenses are debited, so we debit wages. Outstanding wages is a liability. An increase in liability is what? Credit. So we credit it. So the entry is wages to outstanding wages. Insurance paid in advance. Two accounts involved is, one is cash because I have paid it out, and then the other is prepaid insurance. Then the cash here is real account. Goes out, so we credit. Prepaid insurance, this is an asset. You can see new asset is coming in, it increases, so we debit. Then we have rent received in advance. Two accounts involved is, one is rent received in advance and the other is cash. Rent received in advance is a liability. Liability increase is credited. Liability is always a credit. Here liability, rent received in advance is a liability. So increase in liability, we need to credit. Cash is a real account. We can see cash comes in or goes out. Here cash comes in because we are receiving now, so cash is debited. Commission receivable. Commission receivable. Two things receivable. Two accounts involved is commission, and the other is commission receivable. Commission is nominal account. This is an income, so we credit it. Nominal account, incomes are credited, so credit. Commission receivable is what? An asset. Anything receivable is an asset. Asset is increasing, so we debit. So the final journal entry would be commission receivable account debit to commission. Provide depreciation on furniture rupees 400. Here two accounts involved is depreciation and the other one is furniture. Depreciation is what type of account? It is nominal. because it is a loss. Under nominal account, expenses and losses are debited, so depreciation will be nominal account. Being a loss, it is debited. Furniture is an asset, or you can say it's a real account. Here, this asset is diminishing, it is decreasing. Or if you think it's a furniture is reducing in value, so it's like goes out. So we can write over here or goes out. Both ways it is a credit. So the entry is depreciation debit to furniture is the financial entry. Anyways, we learned how to identify which account to debit and which account to credit with the help of the golden rule. Now we'll just see how we finally need to present it. We write the dates over here, date, then particulars, then LF means ledger folio. We write over here debit, credit. You can write over here amount in rupees, amount in rupees. We write the dates over here, say January 1. What was our first entry? Cash account debit to capital account. So we write like this. This is how we should write. Cash account, then leave some space, debit. Leave one finger gap and you can write here 2. Capital account. And then we write the amounts over here. The debit in the debit column and the credit amount in the credit column. Below this we need to write the narration. Being business started with cash rupees whatever. So this is one entry is complete. That way we go on passing the journal entries of the next date over here. Then again we finish it off, then the third date, and that way we go on continuing. This is the format. And don't forget to write the name of the owner over here in the books of, in whose books accounting is done. This is all about the basics of a journal entry. This is how we go about thinking in our mind which account to debit and credit, and finally pass the journal entry.